Hello.
Fran, we're the only ones here today.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, but hang on. All your accents blur into each other anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, there's it's of no odds to me.
Well,
So,
Georgia got her teeth taken out. Georgia had all her teeth removed.
Georgia had no, she didn't have
She
all.
had all of them removed.
Are you being serious with me right now?
No, she got her wisdom teeth taken
Oh,
out.
right, okay. Fuck me. I was gonna say, like, I didn't realize
Oh my god.
I mean, like, honestly, I am such a cliche when it comes to British teeth. Like, mine,
I
mine on
I
the
told
surface.
Georgia, I said I would pay you $2 million to see Georgia after dentist. I would love to see that.
Well, presumably she'll be all drugged up.
Yeah, I think she said she was.
See, that I would pay good money to see.
Yeah,
Or to
that's exactly what. Yeah,
hear.
like David after Dennis. Um,
I mean, I am like mine on the surface are okay, but the last time I went to the dentist, I got bollocked. I had to. The woman actually took out a giant pair of teeth and like showed me how to brush them like an infant. It was humiliating. Um, and I never floss. Sometimes I don't brush till like 3 in the afternoon. I never brush before bed. Kids, the more you know. Um, but yeah, I have terrible teeth.
I remember when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. It was hell. It was the worst. It
Well,
was.
my wisdom teeth about once a year are just in constant pain for about a week.
Uh-huh.
I seem to go through this about once a year. They'll have a kind of, I think it's maybe something to do with the cycle of the moon or the same. I don't know, something to do with periods. But yeah,
Gravitational pull of the moon pulling on your teeth.
I guess so. I guess so. Um, yeah. So anyway,
I
that
can't wait till my brother gets his taken out because I want to see him on drugs.
yeah,
He's probably gonna get his taken out probably next time he goes back. They're gonna see if they're coming in yet. And I told him, I said, he's like, I don't want to get him taken out. And I'm like, you have to, or you're gonna feel like death in like 10 years. You'll want to die.
yeah. See, this is interesting because British people, we just ride it out. I think we're so used to having terrible teeth that we ride the pain of the wisdom teeth out. Whereas you're being
Have you had yours removed?
no, they're still there.
Oh my
They're
god.
still gouging away at my face. Um, on an unrelated tangent, I would like to talk about the Lego movie.
Because you finally saw it, and now you have to take back everything you said about it before.
I didn't say anything about it. I don't know what you're talking about. I will get my lawyer on the phone.
I saw it too, and it was lovely, and it's probably. I'm sad that it came out so late because it probably would have been a best animated feature contender this year for the Oscars, but
I
gotta wait till next year.
Yeah, I know. I think it would have. I mean, it really, it looks beautiful. It's a great story.
It
Really
was funny as shit.
really funny.
It
Where
was really funny.
I mean, Where Are My Pants? I think is one of the funniest
The
things.
first line of the movie is Morgan Freeman said, "Cover your butts." I'm like, that was the greatest first line to a movie I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, Everything Is Awesome is a great song, and I love The Lonely Island anyway, so
Yeah.
fantastic, awesome. Um, but I also, like, my friend Sam made a really good point. Like, it's a lot like those really great kids' films from the 80s and 90s in that it's combining something very, very handmade and nostalgic with really kind of new technology.
Yeah.
And he's totally right. And, like, it's also quite reminiscent of those sorts of films because it really gets childhood right. Like that moment where
That last 15 minutes.
like when he bends down to hug his son. Oh,
Just spoiler alert for the last 15 minutes of the Lego movie. It goes, if you don't care, keep listening, but if you still want to see the movie, pause it or mute it or whatever. But it goes to live action with Will Ferrell, and I mean, I already thought that Will Ferrell fucking just, him and Liam Neeson stole that movie.
Oh, they really...
Absolutely swept that movie.
No,
completely stole it from everyone else. I loved it.
Liam Neeson is hilarious. I mean...
Liam Neeson was the greatest character in that movie. Good cop, bad cop. I love it.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop was genius. That moment where he scribbles good cop's face back on, it's so creepy and hilarious and sweet and, like... But yeah, Liam Neeson, he does a cameo in a show called Life's Too Short by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, which isn't a brilliant show, but he says...
It's alright.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, but he says to Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, who are playing themselves, you know, I want to do some stand-up comedy, you know, and I know you're kind of comedy bigwigs, you know, can I show you some of my material? And then he proceeds to just do some of the most, like... Because the thing about Liam Neeson is that he is ostensibly very serious. So he does this really serious material, like, doesn't crack a smile, like, can't lighten it up at all, because that's just not him. And it's like some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen.
Hearing him do that like, high-pitched good cop voice was like, holy shit.
A complete revelation. Like, I never would have thought he could, like... You don't think of Liam Neeson as kind of, like, when you look at people that have done voiceovers, you think of, you know, Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried, and you don't think Liam Neeson.
I always forget that he's Irish, right?
Yeah.
I always forget he's Irish because he's always doing an American accent in this like pseudo-American accent in all the films he's in that I've seen, like Taken and all those movies. He's doing like this really weird American accent, but you can't quite tell that he's European.
But you know that he's not American, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, really...
I thought for a long time that he was American, but then I heard him in an interview and he was Irish as shit.
Well, really what he is Liam Neeson. He's got his own accent.
Yeah.
He's that badass.
Yeah, him and Will Ferrell just stole that movie. I loved them in that movie.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I didn't care about anyone else except them.
I liked the super enthusiastic leading guy. I forget his name, but...
Yeah, Emmett.
I didn't really give a shit about the romance, but I really liked him as a character, and I really liked 80s Spaceman, or whatever he was called.
Spaceman, yeah.
Spaceman! I thought that was really, really funny. But it was just, yeah.
Who did that? It was Charlie Day. Charlie Day did that voice.
Oh, Charlie
really
Day.
Happy, I love Charlie Day.
Where do I know Charlie Day from? What would I know?
He's on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was in Pacific Rim and a couple other things. But he's known for, he's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm sure he did a voice in something, and that's what I know him from, other than the Lego movie. But yeah, I mean, it looked amazing as well. Like, it is one of those films that I would genuinely recommend seeing in 3D, because it was a feast for the eyes, just like big rolling Lego.
See it in 3D. I'm sad I didn't.
I mean, how was it for you in 2D?
It was good. There was just, I feel like I would have been a little overwhelmed with the 3D, because already in 2D, there's so much going on the screen sometimes that you don't quite know what's going on for a few seconds, and then you're like, oh, okay. So
that is true. I had a couple of glasses of wine because I've been out before, so that maybe didn't bother me quite so much, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I loved the use of the Legos, and like, that's so cool. I just thought it was so cool. I wanted to take my brother to see it, but he said he was really skeptical about it, which I think everyone was at first.
Oh,
that it was like a cash-in and shit like that. And I'm like, if they really wanted to make a cash-in, they would have done it in like 2004.
They would have done it in
years ago.
And it would have been straight to video. You know, they could have made it for no money and made a huge, huge profit on it because of the brand name.
Yeah.
But they spent a shitload of money and they told an interesting story. And that takes effort that, had it just been a cash-in, they wouldn't have needed to make.
I also love that, like, like the characters were really like were so self-aware that they were Legos. Like at one point, good cop, bad cop is like, "Do you see the quotes that I'm making with my claw hands?" It's just so like I thought that was really funny that they're like self-aware that they're Legos.
Do you know what? That's totally true. I'd never made that observation, but you're completely right. And it does it really, it's just another really, really good joke. I mean,
Like they know that they can't bend their knees and
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it it was great. It was great, and
and they moved like Legos, which was really cool.
what
Like
looked like a stop motion, like not the entire time, but a couple of times I did wonder, you know, like did they stop motion this, particularly when it wasn't like the rolling city scenes and it was just, characters moving around, like they had that kind of very mechanical movement.
yeah,
um
which is why I said like they moved like Legos, which was
yeah,
really
yeah, they
I
really
thought that was awesome.
they
They
really
didn't like completely CG everything. I think yeah, I can tell that they used a lot of stop motion. They didn't completely CG everything, but the CG that they did do was like really great.
I thought
Like anytime like when they were in the ocean and like you think that it's water, but it's just actually those little tiny Lego pieces all
that looked
together
cool.
CG'd, and I'm like, that's so rad.
The thing is though, it was all CG. None of it was stop motion. That's the impressive thing. They
I feel like no, like they didn't do like stop motion on like the characters, just in
No, no,
dialogue.
that was all CG. They just what they did was they tried to recreate the look of stop motion. That was what was so incredible and so like committed about it. But the whole thing is 3D. I mean, the whole thing is CGI rather,
Yeah.
which is amazing, isn't it?
But
Like,
yeah, I mean that's still rad as shit. I
yeah,
mean, they
no,
must have studied Legos
it
for like
is.
years.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think it's. I feel like as a British person, I can't pull off saying rad as shit.
Yeah.
I just
No, I'm not agreeing with you, but I mean, I
no
know.
agree with me, please. I was on.
I can't pull off saying bloody. I can't say bloody shit or anything like that. Like I can't say that. It
No,
doesn't sound.
and I mean, I guess you couldn't say I don't know, buggered or bollocks or
Yeah.
bollocks is getting being bollocks can mean many things. It can mean getting told off. Um, Actually, I think that's it. Getting told off, getting a good bollocking.
And I was talking to you earlier about movies, and like, really, there's like nothing good playing until Muppets Most Wanted.
I mean, I think that's probably like debatable. Like, there are probably some like art house films or whatever, but you're like, yeah, all I'm excited about is the Muppets.
All I really care about right now is like, let's see, they got Muppets, and then I
Um,
think it's like this month or next month is when Captain America 2 comes out,
yeah, which I'm
and like the only things playing in like here's what it says playing at my theater right now. They got the 300 sequel, which I'd have to go back and watch 300 again to see that movie because I like 300 and I remember a lot, but I'd still have to go back and watch it again.
Gerard Butler though. Like, he is a terrible actor. Like,
He's so hot though.
he's super hot. Actually, there's a really, really good.
It says because like I like the only movie I really enjoy him in is Phantom of the Opera, and that's a movie that I legitimately like, and I don't understand why other people don't like it.
You know what? I feel that way about the producers, like the remake of the producers. Like,
I know people who feel that way about the producers too. The one with Matthew Broderick.
yeah, I love
I
it.
know people who love it too. Me and my best friend, we love Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's like, I think a part of her knows that like Gerard Butler's singing is like, but it's like everyone else is lovely.
yeah, I mean, I think people are very, very sniffy about. It seems to be movies that are made based on stage musicals. I think the exceptions are, obviously things like Les Mis, but like, if it's something that is just like it's fun and it's a little cheesy and it's staged in not a particularly creative way, then people it doesn't matter that the songs are great and the performances are good. People are going to dismiss it. Like, my barometer for movie musicals, like, is are they entertaining,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Yeah, I mean like There are probably a couple I don't find extremely entertaining. I mean, like, I even find Mamma Mia, I think even that movie's okay. Like, it's not terrible.
I think Mamma Mia is really entertaining.
I think it's funny, like, Pierce Brosnan, and, like, I think it's funny.
Yeah, I do too, and I think like actually, the thing with Mamma Mia actually is like, as far as I'm concerned, like ABBA, their songs are unbreakable. Like you can do whatever you want to those songs, and at the end of the day, like you can put them through the most convoluted, ludicrous storytelling, and they'll still be ABBA songs,
hmm
and they'll still kick ass.
Also showing is that I've been on such a good streak of children's movies lately, like with Frozen and the Lego Movie, and now they're coming out with that Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and that just looks so bad and like not bad, but like mediocre. That I'm just like, oh.
But do you know what though? It's had good reviews. People have said it is genuinely funny. Like,
Yeah, which is weird because it looks really mediocre. So I'm like really skeptical.
I don't know. The trailer, I have to admit, the trailer made me laugh. And yeah, the animation looks fairly standard.
I don't even know the source material. Like, I barely know the source material, so.
At all. I mean, like, all the, like, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Peabody and Sherman, like, all those are very, very American. They did not get shown here. So I don't know how that movie is going to do in the UK, but I thought it looked funny. Like, whether I see it or not, just purely down to, like, I have to be careful about what movies I see because of the money. Like, I would see it on DVD. I would happily see it on DVD. I would while away an evening.
Yeah, probably. The only movie that's out right now that, like, kind of interests me is Nonstop, which is that Liam Neeson movie that's out right now.
I mean, it's Liam Neeson. I think it's
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Do you know what it's about? It's so ludicrous.
No, I don't. I can imagine
It's about Liam Neeson. He's on a plane, and he's like an air marshal or some shit. But he's flying from New York to London, and he's a U.S. air marshal. But he's on this transatlantic flight, and he gets all these text messages telling him to transfer $150 million to this offshore account.
Right.
And until he does that, a passenger on the plane will be killed every 20 minutes.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And so it's like Liam Neeson thriller on a plane, and I'm like, oh my god,
it's like Snakes on a Plane, but instead of snakes, it's murder.
Yeah, essentially.
Amazing. That is amazing. I mean, it's like, seriously, that sounds nearly as silly as Snakes on a Plane.
It does look really silly, but I'm like, that's kind of interesting, I guess. The premise is interesting.
It's a bit like Taken. Like, to me, like, movies like that.
Every Liam Neeson movie is like Taken.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, he does that so well. He does that.
The funny thing is, I actually like Taken.
I like Taken. I really like Taken. Like, it's really silly, but it's so entertaining.
It is. It's extreme. I find it entertaining, but not quite silly. Silly's not quite the right word. But.
I mean, maybe it's too horrible to be silly, actually, because it is.
Yeah, because there's, like, sex trafficking and shit. It's like.
Yeah, maybe silly is the wrong word for a film about sex trafficking, but it's more just like Liam Neeson's, like, I have a very particular set of skills. Like,
yeah.
It's just like, that is pure movie magic right there. Like, that speech will be quoted for years to come.
Yeah. I'm just in the next couple months, there's, like, nothing really coming out that interests me except children's films and superhero movies.
Well, the Muppets. How excited are you about the Muppets? I would just want to say, like, what I'm really excited about, and what I think they've got right in the way that the first film also got right, is that the guest actors, the actors that aren't Muppets, they all...
The actors that aren't Muppets.
The characters that aren't Muppets. So, in the first one, it was Jason Segel and Amy Adams. In this one, it's...
Ricky Gervais, Ty Burrell, Tina Fey.
is that they are actual characters. They're not just saying, hey, look, we've got a famous person. And it's the thing that the Muppets always did so well. Like, they've got proper characters, they interact properly with the Muppets. You know, they write really good shit for those people. And like
Ty Burrell plays this like Pink Panther-esque French stereotype.
yeah,
Do you know what his name is in the movie?
what's his name?
Jean-Pierre Napoleon.
Ah!
And I'm like, the greatest French stereotype I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, the voice he was doing kind of sounded like an homage to John Cleese in The Holy Grail.
It sounds like Steve Martin doing the Pink Panther movie almost.
Yeah, well, just any French stereotype.
Yeah.
It's any and all French stereotype, but he looks so funny in it. He looks so funny. Tina Fey looks hilarious. Like, her character, she's this kind of, I think she's meant to be Russian, this kind of very, like, austere prison guard, but who is also in love with Kermit. And then Ricky Gervais is just playing an asshole, which is great, like, perfect. He's playing an asshole who is the sidekick to an evil version of Kermit.
Badgie, it's French.
Yeah. Dominic Badgie, it looks awesome. It really...
And also, like, Muppets Most Wanted, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, those are the only things I'm excited about.
Yeah, I haven't seen the first Amazing Spider-Man. But
it's really good! I like it. I don't know why people give it so much shit. I think it's... You know what? I dare say it's better than the Tobey Maguire version.
Okay, alright, do a point-by-point comparison, because I'm really interested
they're not the same movie. Amazing Spider-Man is not a remake of the Spider-Man from, like, 2002 or whenever that shit came out. I still like that series of movies. I like those movies okay. I don't even think 3 is that bad. But I thought Amazing Spider-Man was great. I don't know why people give it crap. I don't understand it. I like Andrew Garfield. He plays like a really snarky Spider-Man, which is like how Spider-Man in the modern version of the comics is portrayed. He's portrayed as very snarky and breaking the fourth wall a couple times, and you know.
One of the biggest criticisms of the Tobey Maguire character is that, and it isn't so much Tobey Maguire's fault, like it's a criticism of the films really, is that Spider-Man is supposed to be funny. He's supposed to be very witty and very...
Yeah, people didn't like that it was such a serious Spider-Man. I didn't think it was that... Like, I like Spider-Man. I like that movie, the Tobey Maguire movie. I do like that movie. The second one is good. The third one's okay.
Yeah,
I like it. I have memories attached to the third one, so it's like, oh, it's a good movie.
No, I don't hate the third one as much as everyone else does. I think bits of it really don't work. And
I hate that they went, like, pretty much nowhere with the Sandman thing, because that was an interesting story. That was an interesting plot point. And they just kind of, like, started it and ended it, and I'm like, well, why did not... That barely went anywhere, and I liked it.
I completely agree. And I think Venom, like, he looked great. He was very well animated.
Yeah, I think the thing about 3 was that people, especially fans of the comics, were really looking forward to Venom, and they were really disappointed with it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they just shouldn't have had 2 villains. They should have picked one and really...
I think they should have went with Sandman. I think people really wanted Venom, which is why they put him in the movie. People were really looking forward to Venom, but then when they got Venom, they didn't like what they got, so...
That's because Venom was what the studio wanted, and Sam Raimi was basically backed into a corner, so he... I mean, it's a shame, really, because what he should have done is he should have made it work. He should have been a bigger person and tried to make it work, and that is very clearly not what he did. But there are things in that movie that work. I like the relationship between MJ and Peter. I like the fact that they go through genuine relationship problems.
You know what? You watch Amazing Spider-Man, and then try to come back and tell me that once you've seen the relationship between Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone's character.
Well, I just mean...
Because it's really good!
I just mean in terms of the third movie, like the fact that...
In terms of the third movie, yeah.
Yeah, I think that I think that the fact that Peter is legitimately an asshole in that movie and is affected by being Spider-Man to the
Yeah,
extent that
I like Gwen Stacy in the movie. I think that's a good character. I like it better than Mary Jane because Mary Jane didn't do much, and Gwen Stacy in the first film did a lot of shit, and she was awesome. I liked it.
that's
Um,
really that's really cool, and that shows a lot of progress, I think.
I
And
mean,
I
Mary Jane's okay, but I mean, when you compare her to the movie verse anyway, when you compare it to Gwen Stacy, you're like, oh man.
I mean, it's interesting because Gwen Stacy in the comics was the original love interest, and then when she, spoilers, when she dies, that is when Mary Jane is introduced.
But
Um,
Amazing, I like Amazing Spider-Man. I came
what,
out of that movie and I was thoroughly satisfied.
what
And I
I
can't wait for the second one. Jamie Foxx looks awesome.
can I just ask though, because what I hear is because actually it was quite well reviewed, The Amazing Spider-Man, but the biggest criticism was that it was too similar to the early 2000s films. But you've said that that isn't the case.
I didn't see a whole lot of it. Not particularly. I mean, there's definitely a difference between Tobey Maguire's performance and Andrew Garfield's performance. There's definitely a very notable difference. Um,
Well,
I like the look of Amazing Spider-Man. I like that look better than because I really wish I had seen that movie in 3D because there were just so many like swinging shots, like swinging through buildings, and you're just flying all over the place, and I'm like, oh god, why don't I have 3D glasses? Why didn't I shell out $3 extra? And
I have to admit, the trailer for the second film, like I want to see that in 3D. It looks amazing. It
oh,
really,
the second one.
yeah, and I really think that the Oscorp storyline, like, I'm so glad that they're doing something different with that. They're expanding it. They're making it, they're kind of connecting all the villains in that way, just based on what I've seen in the trailer. I think that's a really interesting idea.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the first one, and I don't know why people like hated on it so much because I liked it as someone who's seen all three of the previous films, and then I went and saw Amazing Spider-Man. I went and saw that movie on the midnight showing, and I had a great time.
Well, I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna see the second one. I'm
It's good.
excited. I am also really, really, no, not excited because I've already seen it. That's the wrong word. I really loved NerdQuest. We've all been waiting for a
Before anyone asks, by the way, no, we don't care about Veronica Mars because I haven't seen it.
No,
I haven't seen the show. I need to see the show.
Do you know though? Like, I do want to see the show, and when I
do want to see the show too. Yeah.
I will care about the movie if the show is good, and I have it on good authority that the show is very, very good.
Yeah.
NerdQuest, yeah, which we've all been waiting for eons, is brilliant. Like, to go back to very, very that guy with the glasses specific material, which we don't really do a lot of anymore. NerdQuest was fantastic. Like great friendship between the characters, like notably different to the That Guy with the Glasses anniversary movies. Really funny, genuinely scary, genuinely quite sad. And not to be biased, but Film Brain, Matthew Buck, is...
Not to be biased, but I'm just going to say the most biased thing I can ever say.
Absolutely. Not to be biased, despite being biased. No, I mean, I had my doubts, I have to admit, because he's so over the top in the That Guy with the Glasses movies. I had my doubts that he could deliver, like, a three-dimensional... Because he's not playing Film Brain in this. It's a completely separate character, separate stories, like, for all of them. Just a completely different world. And he's great, and it's a really, really, like, down-to-earth performance. It seems like he's made a notable effort to tone it down, and it means that when he is kind of socially awkward or kind of obsequious in the film. It is really funny, because it doesn't feel, it's not all one note. It's not the same thing throughout, which wouldn't have worked for this kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Bush is really good. Dick Bush is really, really funny in it. And yeah, again, really well acted, really good performance. The biggest surprise is how little Mike J and Welshie are in it. They're mostly producing, directing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ashens, Dick Bush, and not Guru Larry, Harry Partridge. I can't remember his online name. He's great, by the way. I don't watch any of his reviews, but he's great. So yeah, on the whole, NerdQuest was fantastic. I was really, really impressed. And get the DVD because the extras are really good. Are you planning on seeing?
It hasn't gone up online, has it? No.
Yeah. Oh no. Actually, it hasn't. I think it is just being released on DVD. In fact.
Oh man.
But you should get the DVD. It is worth forking out for. It's worth waiting for the postage. It's quality.
How long did you wait for that movie?
I didn't wait that long, but I'm just thinking because you're in the States. Because I waited about 6 months for To Boldly Flee.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just redonk.
Oh, I forgot to mention I was excited about the new Godzilla movie. That's going to be great, I think.
Yeah, well, Bryan Cranston is in it.
Cranston is in it.
But, he's so successful. What's he doing in a Godzilla movie?
No, you don't even bad talk Godzilla right now, because I will kick you in the face. That's going to be a good movie.
Is it going to be a good movie?
It is going to be a good movie.
Because all I see in my head are, cheesy parodies of, a Japanese guy pointing to Godzilla and being...
Stop your shit.
Godzilla, I mean, as long as it's not that, as long as it's a proper film.
It's gonna be a proper film, not like the Matthew Broderick movie either.
Oh, Jesus. My favorite, bad, sci-fi remake, though, is still Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. That is so funny, that film. That is one of the funniest films I've ever seen.
Is it supposed to be a serious film?
Yeah, oh, it is. It absolutely is. But it's like Battlefield Earth. It is so, so stupid.
Oh my god. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg in it, right?
Yeah, it really is. And I love Marky Mark. I love Marky Mark, and I love everything from not only his waist up, but his waist down. He is a beautiful, gorgeous man, but that is a silly film.
Have you seen, you haven't seen Rise of the Planet of the Apes, have you?
Yes! Oh my god, that is brilliant!
That's a good film. I like that movie a lot.
Can I just say, I was blown away by Rise of the Planet of the Apes. We must have even talked about it on the podcast.
I took my mom to go see that movie, and she was really excited about it because she loves the original Planet of the Apes movies, and she was freaking out. She loved that movie. She freaked out when Tom Felton said, "Get your hands off me, you damn idiot."
I had a heart attack. I mean,
when fucking Malfoy said that shit, that was amazing.
What a thrill for Tom Felton, because he is the best of those Harry Potter actors. He really is, and he deserves it. He deserves all the success in the world, Tom Felton. He's fantastic. And but every frame of Rise of the Planet of the Apes is brilliant. I can't think of a thing about that film that I didn't love. I love the scene where Caesar is swinging through the house and James Franco's giving the monologue. I love the references.
James Franco movie you actually like. I just realized that.
Movie I like. How about that?
God.
And where I can tolerate his performance, But I mean, it's made by everything else, Andy Serkis is incredible.
Can't wait for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I think that comes out this year.
Yeah, I've seen a trailer for it. I think it's either this year or 2015. But I
told my mom there was going to be a sequel, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
So good. I mean, and I love all the little details that nod to the original movie.
Yeah, there were she was every time there was a line from the original movie, she was like, "That's a line from the original movie."
I think my favourite thing, which my dad pointed out to me, I didn't notice the first time around, was that there's a news report that goes out in the movie, just kind of in the background on a television and on a newspaper, that a space crew has been lost, and they cite the year, they cite the name of the spaceship, and it's the crew and spaceship that got lost in the original Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, cool.
How clever is
It's full
that?
of Easter eggs. It really is.
I mean, it's true. Like, it's nerd heaven.
Like, I think they recite about, like, 4 or 5 different, like, really iconic lines from the original movie.
They definitely do. I mean, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape," like, or something to that effect. It's a great line, though. Just a great movie. Like, I I love the hell out of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I think it's the best summer blockbuster I've seen in the last decade.
Well, Avengers, I mean...
No, it's better than the Avengers.
Oh my god, you're dumb.
Oh my god, you're
Oh
dumb.
my god, you're dumb.
Oh, you're stupid.
You're a stan.
I'm done talking about Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I... Oh, no, I do. Can I just give a shout out to my friend David that I went to drama school with, because he just understudied in a West End show and snailed it. If you live in London, it's called The Duck House. Go and see it, and try and go and see it on an understudy run.
Sweet.
And I met a woman from Doctor Who afterwards, which was very cool.
Oh shit.
She was in an episode of Doctor Who, The Voyage of the Damned, which is when it's a terrible episode. It's when the spaceship Titanic crashes into...
Is that new Who or old Who?
That's new Who. So I met her. She's also in a really brilliant British sitcom called The Smoking Room. But I met her. She was lovely. And yeah, my friend was in a West End show. Big up, David. But that's pretty much the only shout out I have. What about you, Greer?
I don't have any. But I did mention the Avengers, and I was gonna say that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week was really good. It came on last night, and it was the episode where Lady Sif came to Earth, and that was really rad, and I liked it a lot.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was good.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was good this week. It's getting good, because every episode, every, like, teaser for it now, they're saying, like, oh, this week we're gonna explain what happens to Coulson. And then, by the end of that episode, absolutely nothing gets explained. And I'm like, thanks, Obama. Like, I'm so mad. And
yeah, that is how they're getting people to watch it. It must be, because...
I mean, so far, you find out... I don't know if you still want to watch the show and you don't want me to talk about it.
I'm happy to have a relative amount spoiled for me, because I think at this point it's
Tahiti is an acronym for something. They brought Coulson back to life with a drug that he has discovered is like alien. So he doesn't know what it is. They haven't found out what it was. But they planted false memories in his brain about going to Tahiti and shit. And no one can get in contact with Nick Fury about it. And, like, it's super top secret. Everyone knows except him. And it's like, fuck.
I mean, I know that, like, I've seen the clips of him going through the kind of horrible, like, life-bringing back torture. I didn't know it was an alien drug. I mean, so a rundown for someone that is basically a novice in regards to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, which characters are working and which characters do you not give a shit about?
You know what? I do like every character except for Agent Ward. I don't like him that much. He's very bland. I don't really give that much of a shit about him.
Okay.
That's about it. I care about everyone else relatively well. I didn't used to care about Skye that much, but she has proven herself as a good character now that they actually gave her some development, some actual fucking development.
Yeah. I think it's a bit like with Faith in Buffy. Like, she was a well-developed three-dimensional character. I just couldn't stand her personality.
Mm-hmm. But, no, last night they had Lady Sif on there, so it was like an Asgard-filled episode, and...
That's very cool.
Lorelai, who is in the lore of the comics, I think is the Enchantress's sister. And the Enchantress is a big villain from the Thor universe, which I hope to see in an upcoming movie, because that would be awesome as fuck. And there were many, many references to how Sif has a crush on Thor. It's not outright said, but it is alluded to that Sif has a major crush on Thor. And that hundreds of years ago, Lorelai hypnotized Thor and fucked him, and Sif got really angry about it, and I'm like, what is going on?
Okay, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. officially got amazing.
Oh my god, it was really great. Georgia was like, I didn't see them allude to that, and I'm like, I did.
Oh, that's incredible. That is incredible. I mean, how, though, does one person see that being alluded to and another person doesn't? Like,
I don't know, because, like, the lines were pretty vague, like Lorelai was just teasing her about teasing Sif about, like, because Sif had told Agent May about how she has, you know, before she was captured, she was, like, a big deal, and she was hypnotizing men and trying to take over everything, and she was talking about how that had happened to a man she had loved once, and it is extremely alluded to that it may be Thor. And she had done that to Thor, and Sif got really angry about it, and it's also alluded to that because she's in the Warriors that fights for the Odin Allfather, that she cannot be in a relationship really with him because they have this warrior relationship. Something like that. I don't know. In the movie, in Thor the Dark World, Odin actually was like, not outright saying, but pretty much kind of sort of telling him that he shouldn't be in love with Jane Foster when Sif is, like, right fucking there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's getting real in the Thor universe. And I'm like, can there just be a series about Asgard? Can someone make that?
As you were talking, it's interesting. I was thinking, those are the characters that I'm most interested in. The characters from the Avengers that are already, you know, kind of, they're written by Joss Whedon, and they're really three-dimensional and interesting. I'm more interested in them. I would be more interested in seeing a TV show about them than about Ward and Skye and Fitzsimmons.
You know what? I like Fitzsimmons, and I like Skye, and I like Agent May is, like, fucking badass. I love her. I mean, and from what Coulson's my favorite character by far. Coulson's my favorite character.
And are they developing him outside this big mystery? Like, what, you know, how does he carry a show?
Coulson?
Yeah. Just because he was a secondary character, like, and he was great, but, like, they have to now, because he's leading the show, develop him more.
He's just great. Like, it's just all about him trying to find out what the fuck happened to him. And it's something we all want to know too, so we're all along for the ride. By the way, last night, you know how in the first Thor movie, when Coulson shows up, Thor calls him Son of Coal.
Oh yeah.
And then in this one, Sif calls him Philip, Son of Coal.
That's like a Lord of the Rings name.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really, really great.
I liked it. I don't know how everyone else liked it, but, I mean, I liked it a lot. I don't care. I loved it.
Well, I am prepared.
Jamie Alexander's just a great actress, and I like her, so.
Who does she play?
Jamie Alexander is, Sif.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, when I have some time, I am going to commit to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I mean, the first few episodes are really tough to get through just because they are, like, just kind of boring. But, I mean, the recent ones, just the past, like, 5 episodes have been pretty good. Um, I mean, even, I would say even the past, like, 5 to 10 episodes, no, mm, uh, it started getting really good around, I want to say, episode like 6 or 7-ish.
And what could audiences avoid to skip, or
Well, I mean,
afford?
everything is pretty relevant to the story, so like
Okay,
every
so
episode, no matter how kind of useless it is pretty relevant to the story at some point. So I mean, watch all of them, but just know that it's gonna get better.
okay, that is unfortunate, but okay. Um, Greer, I don't have anything else to talk about this week. Do you?
Also, Bill Paxton was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last week.
What? I love it.
Last week, it was last week, but I mean, fucking yeah.
Kudos. I really like in terms of the Bills. I really like Bill Pullman. I have a weird thing about Bill Pullman.
Bill
Um,
Pullman.
yeah, I do. I think he's weirdly handsome. I know him from I mostly know him from a series called 1600 Pen, which only got one season, but it had Josh
Oh yeah, that
Gadish.
got canceled this year.
Yeah, it really did, but I really, really liked him in that, and I quite liked the show. There was a lot about that show to like. But he was also the dad in Casper, and I love that movie. I love that movie. I don't get why I mean, again, it is one of those films that actually people of our generation really love as a kind of nostalgic thing, but I don't get why Doug doesn't like it, and I don't get why it wasn't more well reviewed, because I think it's lovely.
I don't remember much about it.
I mean, it's a big, big part of
Okay,
my.
here I went on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wiki and looked up exactly what had happened with Sif alluding to all this stuff because it was late last night. So Sif is talking to Agent May, I love her, and I have to mention that every time I mention May because I'm just like I just love her. Um, so uh, she was talking to May because Ward had gotten hypnotized by this point, which I didn't like that part. I'm just like, oh my god, do someone else. Um, but fucking May and Ward are actually, spoiler alert if you do decide to watch the show, May and Ward are having sex. Um,
No way. Talking.
so, Sif was talking about how, like, or May was asking why Lorelai uses men to hypnotize men to do all this shit when she's actually good in combat. And then Sif, this is what it says, Sif thinks that bending men to her will and using them gives Lorelai a kind of thrill and that every conqueror needs an army. Sif tells May that she was once in a position like hers where a man she loved was taken over by Lorelai. And then later, Lorelai and Sif are fighting. Lorelai tries to convince Sif to let her remain on Earth, as she poses no threat to Asgard from here. When that doesn't work, Lorelai tells Sif that Thor thinks of her more like a pet than a woman. They fight,
Oh.
then they start fighting, and then right before, like, Sif is gonna kill her, and then Lorelai's, like, mocking her about the man Sif loved, which, it's Thor. It's Thor.
Blatantly.
It's
I mean,
blatantly Thor.
no, I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, who the fuck else could it be?
I know, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Sif and Thor is canon in the comics.
Oh, really?
I think. I'm not entirely sure.
The comics have probably existed for a really long time, so somewhere that will exist.
Yeah, and probably
Almost
some
every-
universe they're
Yeah,
together
exactly.
at some point.
Yeah, I was surprised. In almost every comic that has been going for as long as the kind of main Marvel and DC staples, some permutation of a pairing has existed. My favorite is the Juggernaut from X-Men being gay.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, the guy played by Vinnie Jones. He's gay with North Star,
Oh.
which is awesome.
I mean, I know in like, I mean, there's so many universes in the comics. I mean, I know at some point in the comics, like Heimdall is Sif's brother, and
Oh, okay.
I know that's not in the movie verse at all because Idris Elba is black.
Yeah, that's a pretty big. That would be a difficult thing to explain away.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are millions of examples of that. I mean,
yeah, the two
Spider.
became lovers and companions, and in some point in the comics they did become lovers. After Thor was just done with Jane, I guess.
Oh wow, that is interesting. It is canon then. I mean, one thing I like about I know it's not technically Joss Whedon's writing, but it is kind of the Joss Whedon universe, and I like the way he writes like crushes and romance. I think he does that just very kind of very human things in very unreal situations. So even though the characters are superheroes, like they can still be petty and childish and get crushes and tease each other, and I really like that. I really like that about the way Joss Whedon works.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm still reading, and I think, hold on. I think Odin made Jane forget about Thor. Because
Oh,
Odin's Dad of the Year.
yeah, he's a good dude.
He's the greatest dad. A plus parenting from
World's
Odin.
world's best dad.
Always.
He's even better than Robin Williams in World's Best Dad.
Yeah. But I mean, in the comics, like Thor on Earth isn't actually Thor, like he's actually some doctor, and like it's weird. I don't know. I like the movies.
I mean, I need to read more comics, and I can't really excuse, or maybe I can, but I feel like I can't excuse not reading the comics now for at least the most recent ones, for all the characters that I love in the Avengers,
Yeah.
in the Marvelverse, because yeah, I really want to know. I really want to know their histories and backstories. I want to have as full and rich an experience as real comic book
I mean,
fanatics.
the thing about Thor is that you could either be into the comics or be into actual Norse mythology, you know? You can go either way, because a lot of the stuff
Really,
in the
really,
comics is completely based off of what happens in Norse mythology.
yeah, Thor isn't just an invention. Of course he isn't.
Yeah.
Thor was a that
Thor,
was a
Loki, Sif, Odin, like actual Norse mythology. Like actual stories and shit.
yeah, no, you're completely right, and it's
So whichever one you find easier.
I think I'm gonna stick with the comics. I don't think my
I mean,
history.
Norse mythology kind of gets real. Like Loki's sexing up everyone and giving birth to horses, and it's like
How do
that
you
wouldn't
know?
roll in the movies.
I really talking about mythology in popular culture. I really, really like Hercules. I was listening to the soundtrack today. That is a good movie.
I was listening to what was I was listening to it my Disney playlist on Spotify, and
I have a Disney
I
playlist.
got huh?
I have a Disney playlist.
I think I have a Disney playlist on Spotify, and I subscribe to a Disney playlist, so it's like all the Disney songs.
That is amazing.
I have Disney CDs as well. It's like I have 3 different CDs. No, I have 2. It's like Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Disney's Greatest Hits, and I'm like, that's all I need, really.
Well, I'll tell you what. Actually, I had a really nice. When I went out last night with Sam, we went to the Disney store and it was open at like 10 p.m. because it's Oxford Street. So we went in there and there was almost no one in there. But like, I
How
loved
much Frozen stuff is there?
so much, and the
Oh
best.
my god, I need it all!
they were playing Let It Go on a massive movie, because you know in the Disney store they have the massive movie
I've been to a
screens.
Disney store, yeah. Actually, I've
I
been to one or two.
I've been to a few. I mean, I when I was a little kid, I lived in the Disney store, and I still love going in there. Going in the Disney store, to me, the way that they're designed to look like palaces and to have, real like life-size models of characters, and just they're like a feast for the eyes, Disney
The
stores. They're
Disney
like
store in
like
downtown Disney at Disney World in Orlando
yeah.
is like heaven. I could live there.
I mean, no, like likewise. I mean, and this one I went in. Not only were they playing Let It Go on the cinema screen, they were playing it in different languages and under a canopy in the store with twinkling lights. It was
Wow.
magical. It
Uh,
was
yeah,
good.
that's I love that shit. I need all the Frozen stuff. I need all of it.
I know. Although Sam said that he didn't like Olaf, which
Oh my
I,
god. Get rid
I
of that friend
protest.
immediately.
I protest.
You don't
Sam,
need to be friends with him.
if you're listening, Sam, you are wrong. Olaf is king. I'm listen,
I don't have a skull or bones.
grab my butt. I am excited about taking him. Well, I was going to say I was excited about taking him to Book of Mormon, but not being a Josh Gad fan, I'm not sure he'll appreciate it for its genius.
Ooh.
I think Book of Mormon might be off, Sam.
What kind of Frozen stuff did they have there? Because there's not a whole lot of Frozen stuff that I've seen here.
I mean, pajamas, teddies, cushions, not life size, action models, action figures. Why was that so hard for me to say
I
in a
need a
sentence?
big Olaf plush. I need, like, all the... They don't have, like, any fucking adult-size Frozen shirts, which
And
pisses me off.
Frozen is legitimately for. I mean, I feel this way about Disney in general. It is legitimately as much for kids as it is, as much for adults as it is for kids. I mean, I was thinking about this earlier. I was listening to Aladdin on my iPod, and I thought about, I'm going to watch the DVD again. And I thought, it has a commentary. Kids don't listen to commentaries. They know that movie is as much for adults as it is for kids.
Yeah.
Disney completely embraces that. I love that. I really do.
I mean, I just want a Frozen. I don't know why I can't get a fucking Frozen t-shirt at Walmart or some shit. I don't know why they don't have them.
Well, listeners, if you have an adult-sized child who no longer wants their Frozen t-shirt, you know where to send
it.
Greer Young, America.
Yeah, just send it, just write America on it and it should get here.
It should get here. Greer lives in America, I live in England. That's all you need to know.
I was gonna say, I was listening to the Tangled soundtrack earlier and that was great.
Yeah, Tangled's a couple of the songs I really like. I like When Will My Real Life Begin, and I really, really like I've Got a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more of a fan of the things that legitimately sound like they could be musical theatre, whereas some of the Tangled soundtrack I find a bit poppy. I find a bit Disney Channel poppy, but there are things about the movie that I really like. It's really funny. The horse is hysterical.
Yeah, I like I See the Light. That's such a great song. I like it.
Oh, I See the Light. I'll tell you what, I really, really like the animation to that scene. I think the floating lanterns are beautiful. There are a couple of scenes where the animation in Tangled is gorgeous.
I want you to look at, because I'm browsing Frozen shit, I want you to look at this beach towel that has Olaf on it. It's so cute. It's on the Disney Store website.
Is it just Olaf's face?
It has Olaf on a beach.
That's awesome.
And it's like not even like CG, it's like some different kind of art, and it's really cute. Also on the Disney Store website, powered by Zazzle, you can make your own frozen mouse pads. And I'm like, I actually just bought a mouse pad, which is sad, because I just bought one and I'd like one.
And you can't, I take it, justify. Oh my god, this towel is amazing. That towel is off the charts smart. I need it. I need that.
Oh, there's also an Olaf bag that says I love heat.
Oh, he's so cute. I'm sorry if you don't like him, you're Satan.
Yeah. Sam, whoever you are, we can't be
Satan.
friends. We can't be friends.
Sam, some people are worth melting for.
I know.
You are still my friend, but I protest your point fervently.
I think we did pretty good for 2 people today.
Yeah, I think we did. I think I'm gonna have to call it a day. I don't know about you.
I gotta go walk my dog.
Okay, well, Greer, it was a pleasure, as always.
It's a pleasure. Facebook, all that shit. We got it.
Yeah, we're not gonna link dump anything because we never do.
Yeah.
We abandoned that idea pretty quickly. If you want to look up anything that we've been talking about, do that. That's on you.
Or just ask me on Facebook and I'll link you.
Yeah, or that. That's the
Post on the
infinite-
wall. Post on the wall. Post on the wall.
Post on the wall. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu.
Goodbye, everyone.
Farewell.